Today we're looking at why INFJs unleash an intensity that can leave others spellbound and even be seen as scary to some. Welcome to an exploration of one of the rarest, most intriguing personality types in the world, the INFJ. INFJ is an acronym used in the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, or MBTI. It stands for introverted, intuitive, feeling and judging. These four characteristics, when combined, create a unique personality type that is as complex as it is captivating. INFJs are often described as walking paradoxes, and for good reason. They are introverted, yet they have a keen interest in understanding people and their emotions. They are intuitive, relying on their gut feelings and instincts rather than just cold, hard facts. They are feelers, making decisions based on values and principles rather than logic alone. Lastly, they are judges, preferring structure and planning over spontaneity. Often deep thinkers, INFJs are driven by a strong sense of altruism and empathy for others. They have a unique ability to see beyond the surface and understand complex emotional landscapes, both their own and those of others. Yet, despite their deep understanding and compassion, they can sometimes come across as quiet or even aloof, simply because they are so intensely internal. But don't be fooled by this quiet exterior. Beneath it lies a world of ideas, theories, and possibilities that can be both fascinating and overwhelming to those not used to such intensity. It's like a quiet river with a powerful undercurrent. On the surface, it seems calm and serene, but underneath, there's a whole different world of depth and intensity. This intensity, this depth, it's not a flaw, it's a strength. It's a part of what makes INFJs so unique. It's what allows them to understand others on a level that few can match. But it's also what can make them seem too intense for some people. Now that we have a basic understanding of INFJs, let's dive into the reasons behind their intense nature. And remember, intensity isn't a negative trait. It's a sign of passion, of depth, and of a mind that never stops exploring. So let's embark on this journey together and discover the fascinating world of the INFJ personality type. Firstly, INFJs are known for their intuitive mirroring. Now, what does this mean exactly? Intuitive mirroring is an unconscious process that allows INFJs to tap into the emotional states of those around them. It's like having a built-in radar that picks up on the emotions, moods, and even thoughts of others. Imagine you're at a party and you notice a friend standing alone, looking quite forlorn. Without them uttering a single word, you're able to sense their sadness. You feel a twinge of melancholy yourself, as if you're echoing their emotions. That's intuitive mirroring in action. This trait is particularly prominent in INFJs. They're like emotional chameleons, instinctively adopting the emotional hues of those around them. This isn't a conscious choice they make. It's a part of their personality, a part of who they are. Consider this scenario. An INFJ walks into a room filled with laughter and joy. Almost instantaneously, they feel a surge of happiness, their spirits buoyed by the positive energy in the room. Similarly, if they're in a tense or hostile environment, they can't help but absorb some of that tension, feeling a knot of unease in their stomach. Now, this ability to intuitively mirror emotions can be both a blessing and a curse. On one hand, it allows INFJs to connect deeply with others, to understand them on a profound level. They're often the shoulders to cry on, the confidants, the ones who just get you. On the flip side, this trait can also make them feel overwhelmed, especially in emotionally charged situations. They might find it hard to separate their own emotions from those they're mirroring. This is why they often need time alone to recharge and rebalance. So it's not so much that this personality type is trying to be intense. Rather, their intuitive mirroring makes them naturally attuned to the emotional undercurrents around them. This natural ability to mirror others' emotions can make INFJs quite intense. But remember, it also allows them to empathize and connect with others on a level that few can match. And another reason for the intensity of INFJs is their subconscious analysis. You see, subconscious analysis is like a mental superpower that INFJs possess. It's like having an internal detective, constantly observing, connecting dots, and making sense of the world around them. This detective never sleeps. It's always on the job, processing information even when the INFJ might not be consciously aware of it. Now, imagine the mind of an INFJ as a tranquil lake. On the surface, it's calm and serene, but beneath, there's a whole world of activity, schools of thoughts swimming around, ideas bubbling up from the depths and a constant silent analysis of the environment. This is subconscious analysis at work, the active undercurrent beneath the placid surface of the INFJ's mind. The INFJ's subconscious analysis is like a tireless librarian, meticulously cataloguing experiences, emotions, and observations. It's always cross-referencing, always making connections. It's like the ultimate mental jigsaw puzzle, with the INFJ constantly fitting together pieces of information, forming a comprehensive picture of their surroundings. This subconscious analysis also shapes their interactions with others. They can pick up on subtle cues, sense underlying emotions, and understand motivations, often without even realizing how they're doing it. It's like they're tuned into a frequency that others might not even know exists. This can make them exceptionally empathetic and understanding, but it can also contribute to their intensity because, you see, this constant subconscious analysis can be incredibly draining. It's like having a background app running on your smartphone that's always using up battery. The INFJ might feel tired or overwhelmed, even if they haven't been physically exerting themselves. They might need more time alone to recharge, to process all the information they've subconsciously gathered. Moreover, this intensity can be felt by those around them. People might see the INFJ as deep, insightful, or even a bit mysterious. They might feel like the INFJ is always switched on, always thinking, always analysing. This can be intriguing, but it can also be intimidating, contributing to the perception of INFJs as intense individuals. This constant analysis can often make these individuals seem too intense to others. The third reason INFJs can be intense is their unconscious influence. Now, what exactly do we mean by unconscious influence? Well, it's the ability to subtly affect the thoughts, feelings, and behaviours of others without them being entirely aware of it. This unconscious influence stems from the INFJ's deep understanding of human nature and their innate ability to empathise with the emotional states of others. Think of it as a river flowing gently beneath the surface, subtly shaping the landscape without drawing attention to itself. Just as water can carve out valleys and canyons over time, so too can an INFJ gently shape the emotional environment around them. This isn't a manipulative trait, it's simply a byproduct of their empathetic nature, an intuitive understanding of the human psyche. Let's take an example. Imagine an INFJ in a group discussion. Without overtly taking charge, they might steer the conversation in a certain direction by asking thought-provoking questions or offering insightful comments. Others might not notice the influence, but they find themselves drawn into deeper, more meaningful discussions. Similarly, an INFJ can help to diffuse tension in a heated situation. They might not step in and play the role of mediator, but their calming presence and empathetic responses can subtly influence others to adopt a more conciliatory stance. This unconscious influence can make INFJs appear intense to others, especially those who aren't used to such depth of interaction. It's like being in a gentle current. You might not notice it at first, but you soon realize you're moving in a direction you hadn't intended. But remember, this intensity isn't a bad thing. It's simply a reflection of the INFJ's depth of understanding and empathy. They don't just skim the surface of things, they dive deep. And in doing so, they draw others into waters that are often unexplored. The unconscious influence of an INFJ can often be quite intense, but it's this very intensity that allows them to connect with others on a deep, meaningful level, and that's a truly beautiful thing. Another reason for the intensity of INFJs is their intuitive insights. You might wonder, what exactly are these intuitive insights? Well, imagine having an internal compass that constantly guides you, pointing towards the hidden truths of the world around you. This is the essence of an INFJ's intuitive insights. This intuition isn't a psychic ability or supernatural power. Rather, it's an innate understanding of people, situations, and concepts, often without needing to rely on concrete evidence or logical analysis. It's like an internal radar that picks up on patterns, connections, and meanings that others might miss. And this radar is always on, always scanning for INFJs. In their day-to-day life, INFJs use these intuitive insights to navigate their world. They might have a gut feeling about a person's intentions or sense a change in the mood of a room without anyone saying a word. They can read between the lines, see the bigger picture, and often predict outcomes well before they happen. This can come in handy in many situations. For instance, in a meeting, an INFJ might immediately sense tension between two colleagues. even if they're all smiles and polite words. Or in a friendship, they might feel a shift in dynamic long before any conflict comes to light. However, this constant stream of intuitive insights can contribute significantly to an INFJ's intensity. The world is full of signals, patterns, and hidden meanings, and the INFJ is constantly picking up on these. This can make them seem intense as they're always on, always processing, always understanding on a level that can be hard for others to grasp. They might seem lost in thought or overly serious. They might seem like they're always 2 steps ahead or like they're carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders. And to others, this intensity can be overwhelming, even if the INFJ doesn't mean it to be. This deep intuition, this constant stream of insights is just part of who an INFJ is. And yes, it can make them intense, but it's also what makes them unique, insightful, and incredibly understanding. This deep intuition can often make an INFJ seem intense to others. But remember, it's also a gift, a tool that allows them to navigate the world in a way that most people can't. The 5th and 6th reasons for the intensity of INFJs are their complexity of thought and their intensity in relationships. Think of the mind of an INFJ as a labyrinth, an intricate maze filled with countless corners and intricate passages. This is what we mean by complexity of thought. INFJs possess an extraordinary ability to analyze and understand complex ideas. They often find themselves lost in deep thought, contemplating life's mysteries and intricacies. This propensity for profound thinking often leads to an intensity that can be overwhelming for some. Imagine a clock, not just its face, but the intricate mechanism behind it. An INFJ's mind works similarly, always ticking, always processing. Each cog, each wheel represents a thought, a feeling, an idea, each one interlocking with another, creating a complex network of thoughts and emotions. This is the complexity of thought that characterizes an INFJ. Moving on to intensity in relationships, INFJs are known for their deep and meaningful connections. They are not ones for casual flings or superficial friendships. They seek depth, authenticity, and emotional intimacy. Their relationships, whether platonic or romantic, are marked by a profound intensity that can sometimes be too much for others to handle. Picture a bond so strong that it's almost tangible, like a cord of unbreakable steel. That's an INFJ in a relationship. They pour their heart and soul into their connections, investing time, energy, and emotions. They deeply care about the well-being of their loved ones and often go to great lengths to ensure their happiness. However, this intensity can also be a double-edged sword. Some may find it overwhelming, while others may find it endearing. It's not uncommon for INFJs to feel misunderstood or even alienated due to their intensity in relationships. In essence, an INFJ's complexity of thought and intensity in relationships are like 2 sides of the same coin, contributing to their overall intensity. It's not something they can switch off or tone down. It's simply part of who they are. These traits can often make an INFJ seem intense to others. Another reason INFJs can be intense is their inquisitive nature. This trait is one of the most defining characteristics of an INFJ. But what does it mean to be inquisitive? Well, it's a natural curiosity, a desire to explore and understand the world around us. It's the spark that ignites a quest for knowledge, the driving force behind an unending journey of discovery. For an INFJ, this inquisitiveness is not just limited to the physical world. They are keenly interested in exploring the depths of human nature and understanding the intricate web of thoughts, emotions, and motivations that shape people's behavior. They are often fascinated by the complexities of the human mind and are drawn to unraveling its mysteries. This inherent curiosity manifests itself in an INFJ's conversations and interactions. They ask probing questions, not just to make small talk, but to genuinely understand the person on a deeper level. They listen attentively, not just to respond, but to comprehend the underlying sentiments and perspectives. They observe keenly, not just to see, but to perceive the subtleties that often go unnoticed. However, this intense curiosity can sometimes be overwhelming for others. Their deep and thoughtful questions may be perceived as intrusive or intense. Their focused attention can be misinterpreted as scrutiny, making others feel under the spotlight. Their keen observation can be mistaken for a critical gaze, leading to discomfort. Yet, it's important to remember that an INFJ's inquisitive nature is driven by a genuine interest in understanding others and the world around them. It's this very trait that makes them empathetic listeners, insightful advisors, and compassionate friends. Their curiosity fuels their imagination, fosters their creativity, and enhances their understanding, making them the insightful individuals they are. So yes, an INFJ's inquisitive nature can make them seem intense to others, but this intensity is merely a reflection of their deep desire to understand and connect with the world around them on a profound level. It's what makes them unique, what makes them INFJs. This natural curiosity can often make an INFJ seem intense to others. So there we have it, 7 reasons why INFJs can be intense. From intuitive mirroring that reflects back the world, subconscious analysis that dives deep into the psyche, unconscious influence that subtly shapes surroundings, to intuitive insights that offer profound understanding. We've also delved into the complexity of thought, the intensity in relationships, and the inquisitive nature that never stops questioning. If you're an INFJ, take pride in these qualities. They make you unique. If you know an INFJ, remember, beneath the intensity is a depth of understanding and a desire to connect authentically. The journey of understanding our personality types is a fascinating one, leading us to self-awareness and personal growth. What are your experiences with the intensity of INFJs? Comment below with your stories. Stay curious, keep seeking knowledge, and don't forget to subscribe for more content. Download our free ebook about quieter personality types via the link in the description, and we'll see you in the next video. We appreciate your comments. Your shared experiences and insights have been an invaluable part of our community. Every time you comment, you're not only helping yourself understand the complexities of being an INFJ or interacting with one, but you're also assisting others who are on a similar journey. You're contributing to a collective understanding, a pool of knowledge that can help others feel seen, heard, and less alone in their experiences. We love reading your insights and personal stories, and we know others in the community do too. So whether you're an INFJ or someone who knows one, we encourage you to keep sharing and participating in our community.